Hello! Hello my friends, hello YouTube! Are we live? I absolutely speedrun the taping process. Awesome. I'm so pumped for this one. I'm so pumped. This one is going to be an amazing drawing. Today my friends, in this episode, assignment 10 already, we're keeping up with the good work and we're producing great classical arts twice a week. Every Tuesday we have a painting session together. Every Friday we have a drawing session, and there we are. And today we're gonna do this wonderful drawing right there. Look at this, what a beauty. Today, hold on. All right, let me check this. Yes, here we are. Today we're gonna do this amazing drawing together. It's a drawing by who again? Not a very famous artist. German artist named Constantin Johannes Franz Cretius. And 1841, kind of a neoclassical, I would say, but very elegant pose. Let me just remove this bit. Yeah, the music is just so hyped, and I'm so hyped because it's a very elegant pose, tricky, deceptive. Well, not. I don't think it's deceptive. Like it looks difficult, and it is. But if you find that it's too difficult, well, you're in luck, because you can start at level 1, make a composition study with a simplified figure and basic shapes, so approximately this. So basically try to catch, you know, the main lines, the main energy lines of the composition, try to get the right shapes, the right proportions and all, see how it goes, and that would be level 1. Level 2 is you focus on the face, because, well, it's difficult enough already, so you just get inside, and you have some wonderful, like, I don't know how big it is exactly, but you can still see the grain of the paper. So and you see the pencil marks and all. It's incredibly controlled for something that seems relatively small. So incredibly tight and incredibly elegant and conservative, and you know, there's not too much, but a lot is said with very little, with, you know, the strength of the shapes, the strength of the lines. I mean, a beautiful study to study. That's what we do. That's what we do. We try to go back to the roots of classical arts. If someone in the past was able to make something this beautiful, then with the proper technique and with enough practice, training every week, relentlessly training, we can reach something approaching, maybe not exactly this level, but we can at least try to approach it. And that's the goal. That's the goal of art. You can never reach perfection, but you can try again and again, and if you fail and if you miss by a small margin, you do it again and you try again. And that's what we call being an artist. It's always aiming for the best, the most beautiful thing you can do, and, you know, missing it, and you know, not getting discouraged. That's what being an artist is all about. You know, you never find beauty. Beauty is not something that you can attain. You can never, you know, grab it and, oh, okay, that's perfect. That's the perfect beauty, and end of the story. No, it's never like that. It's like, it's an ideal that you constantly have to go out and try to reach. And it's also it's all about self-improvement, right? So that's what we do, and that's why we practice. Yeah. And we do that twice a week, every Tuesday, Friday. Sorry for the mic thing. And we do that. So I put a little poll in the YouTube chat, so just make sure you vote before. If we were to multi-stream besides YouTube, which platform do you think would be best? So basically, if we were to expand the reach of this community, where do you think we should go? Where do you think we should go? Twitch, Instagram, or TikTok? Let me know in the comments. Live streaming is not really big on Instagram, I think, but they have tried to make it available, like same thing as a TikTok, I assume. I don't know, does it work? Like, I'm not so much on Instagram, so I don't really know. None of the creators that I follow truly do a lot of live streaming. They do a lot of, you know, kind of same stuff as you know, the YouTube Shorts, the Reels, as they say on Instagram. They all have different names for exactly the same stuff and same content. I think this can't last for long. Like, all the platforms have the same content basically under different names. People re-upload on different platforms. It can't last forever. Like, this is a sort of a transitional stage. There's going to be one winner, one format, one winner. I think TikTok is trying to increase the video time. YouTube for the longest time was trying to speed it up, but I think it's not gonna last for long. So let me remove this. Okay. All right. Hello. I don't have blue paper. Can I just use beige paper? Absolutely, you can. Absolutely, just go ahead. What matters is that it's not pure white, because we're gonna need to put some accents in there. All these, apparently, from the description, and maybe it's true because sometimes it happens. From the description of the work, it was done with gouache. I'm not entirely sure, but it's possible, because sometimes white gouache has a tendency to sort of fade like that under certain conditions. So it can be the case. But it can also be white pencil, because it also can happen that the white pencil kind of dissolves. Sometimes when you have a, let's say, imagine that you are making something with your, you know, you're making your highlights with your white pencil, and the highlights are really, really visible and all, like very strong. And when you spray with fixative, then all of a sudden, like nothing. And it like sort of dilutes the fixative. Sometimes dilute the white, which is why, little trick. If you make a drawing like that with, let's say, graphite and white chalk, or charcoal and white chalk, or black chalk and white chalk, whatever it is, you just do your normal drawing, because you can't, you know, wait and do it in several steps. You do a normal drawing with black and the white, then you spray with fixative a first time to fix the charcoal in place, or the graphite. So basically you fix the darks in place, then you pick up your pencil again, and you're gonna just like put it back on, because some of it is going to be dissolved by the fixative. So the white's going to be diluted and dissolved by the fixative. So you bring back some of this white that has disappeared due to the fixative, and then you don't fix it anymore. You leave it like that. That's done. You're done. And you have to find a way to properly store it so that the white doesn't, you know, smudge and so that the, you know, the drawing is safe. But that's what you want to do. So let's just start this thing, my friends. So how is everybody doing today? Kind of quiet start for the stream, but we'll see how many people show up. Hello everybody I didn't say hello to. Hello Leslie, No Korash, Moses, Shoba. So great, I managed to catch you live this morning. Hello from New Zealand. Well, hello. Already tomorrow. That's nice. Don't tell me what happens, because I like to have the surprise. But yeah, so it's already Saturday for you, I guess. Very cool. It's insane, these time zones and how far we are. It's just wow. I almost missed a streaming session with Andrew Tischler once because of this. I don't know if I told the story already. Yeah, I think I did, because when I was with Andrew, I'm pretty sure I did tell the story, but you know, I didn't take in consideration that New Zealand was ahead of us. And I was like, okay, it's pretty easy to calculate, right? So 9 p.m. for me is going to be 9 a.m. for Andrew, so I'm fine, right? And I was like, okay, great, it's awesome. But then we had a little sessions before we got to stream together, a little Zoom call, and he was like, hey, where are you, man? I was like, oh, it's tomorrow. No. I was like, oh, gosh. So, but this wasn't done during the live stream, so thankfully the live stream happened with no problem at all. So it was awesome. Hello from Denmark. Hello from France. Hope you're well. Well, I hope you're well too. Menda, I didn't say hello. Sorry about that. Hello. I'm doing great today. I'm super pumped to do this nice little drawing here. Might need to bring on my little so right there probably won't see much. I'm gonna try to push the lines a bit so that you can see. Otherwise, I don't see the point of making content where you can't see anything. Tell me, what did you vote for in the poll? What other platform would you like, and where do you usually hang out when you're not on YouTube? So here I'm focusing on head, and I'm gonna use sort of a head size technique. I'm gonna use a head size technique to put my drawing in place. I'm gonna start with a sort of a floating head. And once I have this kind of floating head, I'm gonna try to bring the support and make sure that the head doesn't fall. But first I need to get at least the right size. And I'm going to use the size of the head as sort of my metric, my reference for the rest. The other measurements will be judged by the size of the head. Always on YouTube, I don't use any other platform. Kind of the same for me. I'm a very much a YouTube addict. And because there's everything you need on YouTube. There's even like, you can watch the news, you can watch, well, you can pretty much be independent. Just, yeah, YouTube, and now I have to say, yeah, YouTube, Discord are my places, my go-to places. But, you know, Discord and YouTube is not even comparable. Okay, let's see what we can get here. For those who remember my main trick, see how I'm holding my pencil, because I'm really trying to avoid the curves right now. I want to really chop it off as much as I can. Keep things sharp. Am I doing level 3? Yeah, I'll probably do level 3, I think. If I find the energy, or I'll just, attempt level 3. But, to get to level 3, you have to first go through level 1 and 2 anyway, so I'll probably just do that. Okay, and then I'm gonna, I see a very nice shape here. In this area, you have a very nice, kind of sharp tooth shape. I don't know, but very nice kind of V shape here. So what I want to try to do is attempt to find this see, when I compare on my model from the bottom of the chin to the point of the V here, it's approximately the same as from here to here. So I'm going to assume that maybe the chin is higher. In my case, I'm grabbing landmarks wherever I can for the moment. It's pretty quiet today. Well, I didn't do it. I didn't do an announcement, by the way. Maybe I'll make an announcement on Discord. I think there should be an announcement automatically. I'm at the arms. Well, you're faster than me then, Leslie. Much faster than I. And fast is not not flattering here. We're not fast. So I do have an update here. Flo is going live on YouTube right now. Okay. So I do have the stream. Probably I could share it. In talk, I'm enjoying. I like to hear that. Oh, you started an hour ago. Okay, okay. Right. Yeah, perfect. We have it. I'm not gonna add everyone. I'm gonna leave people alone. Okay. Well, I'm really like, for the moment, like this is typically level 1, so for once it's nice when it goes like that, when level 1, level 2 and level 3 are all like kind of the the various parts of the process. It's nice when it goes like that, because it's because this way it makes it so that if you're having a tough time, you can, you know, leave at level 1, and if it's better than expected, and if you think that, well, okay, let's go for more, you can always continue and push it a bit further. That's pretty cool. Hi, Roaring Spark. Okay, so right there. That's not just about the head. What you want to try to catch is the size of, you know, the face is more important than just the head, because the hair, well, the hair really, it matters, but less than the face. So you have to focus on something, just start at the headline. Like this measurement would work just fine. So if I, instead of, you know, using the top of the head as my, you know, main, you know, starting point for reference of the proportions, if I start with this line here, bottom of the chin, bottom of the nose, obviously placement of the eyes. If I have just that, I'm good to go. This, you know, this can vary. It's more, you can be flexible with this line on top, because there, you know, doesn't, it's not something super reliable anyway, so it's not something you want to spend too much time trying to catch when it comes to proportions. So let's do the rest. Okay, so what is this angle here? There's a slight contrapposto, so it's like 46. Humbling. How come? Explain. You really want to do a very simple mannequin at first. So no real reason to fumble this much. Oh yeah, it happens. It happens, but you know, you can. I don't know if it's going to be any consolation. Think that at least you figured it out. Okay, maybe it's not so much of a consolation, but you'd be surprised. It actually means a lot that you can spot when something is off. It's actually a great skill that a lot of people simply don't have. Like a lot of beginners, people who really struggle with drawing, you know, they can't figure out when something is off. So, like, the first difficulty is, you know, spotting that something's off. You know, identifying an issue whatsoever is already something extremely difficult for a lot of people. Like 90% of the people can't spot when something is off. And when you spot that something's off, you're not done, because you have to, you know, identify and really put your hand on what's going on and just try to remedy. And this is even harder for some. So yeah, don't be discouraged. Just you're getting there. As I often say, you're trying to do one of the most difficult things there is to draw, like in terms of difficulty level of the various subjects. There's not much more that's more difficult than painting a human face with exact likeness. So just be cool with yourself. And you know, most people, you know, can't make this type of drawing, not because they don't want to, or not because they're, you know, not because they're very lazy and all. It's just because, you know, it's incredibly hard. And never underestimate that when you're tackling a tough challenge, it's going to be some ups and downs. So it's going to be an ups and downs, and that's part of the game. The fact that you're there, you're trying to make it, you're trying to achieve the highest level of excellence in beauty and likeness. It's already more than what most can say. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use the sort of the vaporous technique. Just go very, very lightly. Just very, very lightly, and let the almost, I don't know if you've ever seen how the AI works. If you've ever, you know, learned the process called diffusion or stable diffusion. I don't know exactly. They start with some like very pixely blurry image, and somehow the AI is trained on how to you know, turn a sort of a mess of blurry pixels into an image based on its training. So I want to do the same stuff. I want to do like sort of stable diffusion. Now I'm going to start with, instead of, you know, drawing a mouth that's kind of, you know, sharp and, you know, starting with heavy line, because look at this, for example. I'll show you the example. Instead of, you know, trying to, you know, get something, you know, extremely sharp and detailed, that's going to most likely mess up. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna grab a, hold on, not this big though. I'm gonna take black, actually black. What I'm gonna do is actually I'm gonna let the brush strokes be kind of, you know, kind of evasive like that. You know, I'm gonna do something like that first. So with my, well, it's hard to do with the pencil lines on the tablet, but you get the point. And then what I'm gonna do is I'll grab my little eraser here, make it into fine point, and then I'll, you know, sharpen it on the sides to get the right shape. See? And you'll probably, when I do it like that, you're probably wondering what does it change, but I can assure you that when you do it on the paper with actual, you know, IRL graphic tools, it actually changes a lot. So let me get back to my view. I'm gonna try to zoom in a little bit more on the face. I'd like to get a better zoomed in version of this shot. So if you'll excuse me, I want to offer you better viewing experience. There you go. So what I'll do is, you know, I'm gonna try to go for, so I'm gonna visualize the shape of the forehead here. I visualize it like that, I see something. I'm gonna try to keep it kind of sharp. I want to draw curves. I visualize this shape here. Then what I want to do is, like, I don't know what I see here, but I'm visualizing this, and based on visualizing the shape of the forehead, I'll draw the shape underneath. So basically right here, what I'm trying to do is I'm not going to try to draw an eyebrow or anything. I'm trying to draw the bottom of this shape. So the entire orbital thingy here goes like that. Like a big, you know, sort of egg shape. I don't know exactly how it is. Thing is, I have to figure it out along the way. Next I have to draw this. So same thing, I'm visualizing the shape of the forehead and I delimit it with the eyebrow here. I see some sort of a wrench shape in the eye, so I'm gonna go for this one. Okay. Um, Now I step back, evaluate spacing between the two shapes. How is it? I would say they're too far apart. Hey Joy. Yeah, you're okay with gray. Cream works as well. It was pretty fashionable at some point in the 18th and 19th century to use blue for some reason. So a lot of these classical drawings are using blue. And it kind of works. Okay, so here, see how I'm keeping lines very vague and vaporous? I don't want to, you know, get too involved. Last time you see, yeah, it was a pretty common, you know, kind of aesthetic choice in the sort of let's say neoclassical era. I used to love to draw on these. Actually, a lot of these blue papers from back in the days, they are not blue anymore because the depending on how it was conserved, the blue has completely washed away with time. Sometimes you see something that actually looks beige or cream. It was originally blue. See how I progressively go sharper, but I'm not rushing into anything. I'm still trying to go for something very vague. I sort of started with level 1, at least I did level 1 on the top. I'll probably do level at least 2. I'll see. I don't think I'll have that much time to do the entire, you know, rest of the bottom of the face and all. We'll see, but I'm gonna make at least 2. I did level 1 and 2, so what I'll do is I'll do level 1, 2 on the face and top of the bust, and then I'll, if I have time, I'll finish and do level 1 again and level 3 to finish everything. I don't want to be too ambitious with the streaming sessions. Sometimes doing only level 3s every time, every week is it's exhausting. It's very exhausting. So I want to preserve my energy as far as I can, as much as I can. Keep some energy for my my art, my other art, my own originals. Let's see. TM. So now I'm visualizing this shape right there, so it's too wide around this area on my drawing. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna sharpen it here. Slice the edges like it's butter. So the hairdo finishes here around the bottom of the nose, so I'm gonna make a mark right there. I'm gonna use pastel paper folded in half because it's too big. Alright. If I were to choose one, I think the best one is the one that is within your price range, has the best, conveniences for you, depending. So maybe if you live in New York, there's no point in going to the Lawrence Academy. You can try to go for the Grand Central, and after that, it's all about which one will allow you to enroll. But the best, I don't know. Some of them are kind of fake. Not fake atelier, but they like to. Some art schools like to try to give themselves the prestige, but they're not really doing the right type of teaching. So it's not all art schools. There is actually a difference. You can't go anywhere and receive this type of teaching. But just what I suggest is go on the ARC website and check for the the ateliers and atelier approved by the ARC. So it's going to be a sort of a something solid to start with, and choose depending on where you are and whether or not you can afford it. Let's just quickly wrap this up. Now, I'm gonna finish the rest of the body because the full figure is kind of an important part of this exercise. So I'm actually gonna step back. So reposition. And do the rest of the body. Okay, I see something here. Nose is less long and more flat. far. Not the main problem at the moment. Okay, alright, so let's go for the rest. Everybody's so serious today, oh my god. Everybody's so focused, not chatting. It's like having a quiet classroom of people hard at work. I think, well, it's too quiet. Something's up. Fighting for your life. This hard? All right. Yeah, keep it up. First of all, it's great that usually you're just using a plumb line. Plumb line is like the minimal piece of measuring equipment you can use. In long term, yes, you want to let it go at some point, but it's great that you're using a plumb line instead of full on grid or proportional divider or whatever. The best tool you can get. It's not taking away too much. Well, good for you. This is a very 19th century drawing here, so it's very fitting. Yeah, exactly. Anything but white as far as paper goes. Blue is just for the style. It does provide a very nice nice undertone. This, I think, is very elegant. Alright, yeah. Let's do the rest. Yeah, definitely. Just put a big square there. We don't. Oh no, I thought you were meaning, yeah, I don't want to draw the vase, I want to draw sort of a big box instead. In this case, it's not super realistic, but she's not leaning too much, so she'll get a pass. Let's check out this outline there. Good work. Okay, reshape this. Trying to focus on the contour line here. Hi, Cody. What is this profile picture, Cody? Is this still a printer, or are you done with this nonsense? Oh my god. Just put it in the Discord and I'll see what I can do with it. Why would you want to do this to yourself? And he's here. Alright, let me check this. So this is too long. This is more kind of reaching level 3. Even though I said maybe I should stick to level 2, but I want to do the rest of the body, have more. I want to at least start the rest of the body, have a full body, full figure. If I can, at least have the block-in for the full figure. And see for the rest. Oh yeah, absolutely. It's in the description. Somebody can type exclamation point Discord. I wonder if the exclamation point, I think it should still work, but not even sure. I hope it still works. Sometimes Discord links can be finicky. Well, there you go. You're the perfect place for that. Perfect place for that. Discord is a great community of art enthusiasts, figuration, mostly, all level. And with great people. My back kind of hurts these days. I've been chopping some wood, firewood, and yeah, normally I'm more careful with my back muscles, but this time I don't know, something. Probably made a sort of a bad movement, and now I'm stuck with this. It's not that my back hurts. It's like I get tired of being in the same position, which is typically my drawing position, and upward like that. Time for a break. Yeah, maybe. Well, I'm alright right now. It's just that it's not that my back really hurts. It's more like uncomfort. Not like back pain. It's just an annoyance more than just real ache. So this is right here. See how yeah, I should maybe. Well, I'll take a break when I'm done with. That's typically what I do after I'm done streaming. I'll usually take a break. What I wanted to say is like this is a typical composition. You see how nice and angled and how triangular this composition is, which creates something very stable, pretty typical of neoclassical, where it's not like in romantic style, where you want to have a something kind of uncommon and weird and kind of crooked and very expressive with hold on, I need to grab the right pencil. With a more neoclassical style, you're gonna have something very very triangular. So you have every time you have a solid grounding for the figure, there is always the main element, the head, and there's always like a solid grounding, and you see how it's sort of like a big foundation for this to rest, and it widens even more, creates this kind of pyramidal structure. Like there's nothing more stable. When you want to make something more ideal and perfect and serene, you make this like that. Compared to, well, this is not typically my style. I like to make things more baroque, where things would more twist and turn, and you'll have a back, and you'll have a leg like that and a leg like that. This is more something that I like. You see this kind of motion, but in this case it's more neoclassical style. Is more about making the figure very stable and very still in a way, holding the pose but still. The stillness, the stability. This used to represent the idealized perfection that they were striving for at the time. So, something to think about if you want a composition with something very, very divine, very sacred, with not a lot of surprises. Something that's a composition that's supposed to last forever, you know, kind of this sort of spirit, if you know what I mean. It's not here to necessarily tell some sort of drama, but it's an image that's here to stay. That's what this kind of composition implies. You see it really well in how like has a thick footing right there, supporting it. And there's a slight tilt which you think, oh, it's off balance, but no, because there's an object here supporting it, almost like sculpture. It really feels like a sculpture, like neoclassical style. It feels like the figures have been made from actual sculptures, classical sculptures. And for a sculpture, whenever you put the sculpture off balance or on one foot or something like that, you always have to put, you know, you'll notice that you always have like a little, every time you have a statue, a classical statue, hold on, I'll just make a little drawing to show you. Whenever you have a movement in the statue is off balance in any way, I don't know, there's always going to be whatever. There's always going to be, you know, a fake, you know, branch or a rock next to the leg of the statue. You can notice it on multiple sculptures, classical sculptures. Actually, it would be smarter to show you an image if I'm talking about that. It would be smarter. Well, even when they're not really unstable this much, by the way. Because if you look at this, that's what I'm talking about, this kind of little tree thing here. You always put a little tree, and it's got to say it's almost the same here with the little vase. So you put her slightly off balance, but you immediately put an object to a little prop to compensate. It's part of the style, part of this kind of style. Been watching you since I was a kid. I didn't know you had a Discord channel. Well, not for long. It's been like a year or two, maybe. At least we've been using it consistently for a year, not much more. I really love this subject. It's really great, it's elegant and all. I'm super happy. I don't know how far I can go with the bottom and all. I don't know if I'll really have the time. I should take it, but I have just so much stuff to do. Meaning I should take the time after this session to finish it. It's always very tempting. I always want to, whenever I don't have the time to finish. So I see you guys' work, and I see you've been working hard, and it's like, it makes me want to do it myself sometimes when I can't finish during a live stream. I want to pick it up the next day, but it's tough. It's tough to find the time to do that every time. Mix it in with my other works. Either the videos, sometimes I do need the complete demo of the video, so in this case it works, but sometimes I simply don't have time to combine the assignments, my work, the videos. Do the best I can. Okay, so here it's a tight, what is it called? Corsage? 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 What is this? It's tight. Ah! And this is what sucks. When you drop your pencil, and yeah, obviously broke. Gosh. Alright. Fortunately, I have a spare one right there, so I'm good. Oh yeah, well, first of all, my wife does a lot with the baby. She's staying at home for like at least the next couple months, so that's great. And we sort of have like a little routine, or a little kind of teamwork with, you know, all the laundry, everything that needs to be going on. But like I said, I mostly work when I have the time. Sometimes it's late at night, like right now it's, for me, it's like 16 p.m. So working when both kids are asleep or when they're at school, and but we do it. We find a way. Thank you, Steve. Depends on the structure. I believe flows goes off structure due to working more. Yeah, I don't often critique, and I know I'm super happy that the Discord is active and all. I'm super happy that the community participates so much. And you know, I love you all, I love all the messages and all. But yeah, it's, as Cody says, with the time and all, it's tough to, you know, and sometimes you also want to preserve your, you know, kind of sanity, and you just don't think about art and painting and critique all the time. So it's also good to take a break on this side of so what I really like to read out all your comments on the Discord and check out what's new. It's a bit too overwhelming if you're always active. It's almost like, for us, it's like almost never leaving work if you think about it. It's like you're off of work, you're at home, and then ding, someone talks about work to you directly. You think about it like, because art is my work, so I focus on art for the entire day, and at the end of the day, when you just get some rest, you still have you have to get back into this work mindset. Think about, you know, stuff, shapes, values, and it's a great pleasure. Don't get me wrong, but it's sometimes you just have to give yourself a break and stop thinking about art all the time. And it's a habit you have to actually pick up. You have to get it into this habit. Like, I didn't naturally do it. I have to sort of learn to cut a little from always being into the art stuff, because it sort of disconnects you from the rest of, you know, your family and stuff. Can't be only thinking about art 24/7, and the problem with social media is that there's always someone active somewhere, and there's always a form of stimulation. And they do this really well with all the notifications. It's like, it's calculated on all these platforms. They send you a notification exactly when it seems that you wanted to see it. Sort of trick your brain. Let's see, because I'm not sure. I'm not quite sure about the placement of my arm. Okay. Oh. Okay, so yeah. Arm is too short. That's why I thought. I knew something was kind of off here. Something.
Hey Rhiannon. Okay, so less white but more. I think here it could be. I think here could be the place. So there. Okay. Seems to be better. Okay. Thank you, Leslie. you. I'm not gonna refine the bottom. I'm gonna keep it very blocky. Then I'll check the proportions of the whole, and then I'll try to improve the face. And I think this is the only thing I'll have the time to accomplish today. Maybe the face and maybe kind of a bust size. So here we have our vase is right there. Whatever, it's the same thing. The vase should not be curved. It's a bunch of whatever. Just draw it whatever, however you want. Doesn't really matter that much. It's a very nice drapery as well. There's a lot to study here. My plumb line was off. Lesson learned. Thank you. That's the problem of any measuring technique. Whenever I'm using a measuring tool of any kind or a measuring technique of any kind, I really never trust it whatsoever. Like I never trust anything that I do drawing wise. It's kind of a habit to develop before after so many years of trying to things more with more likeness, better accuracy, take a habit of looking for problems, looking for trouble, and trying to fix it. When you take a habit of looking for it, you realize very often there is something off with your work. It's not a matter of if, it's a matter of where exactly, and just is it fixable easily, and how do you fix it? Who is something off? There is an off that's acceptable and off that's not the same, kind of likeness at all. So it's a fine line. skirt was way easier than the upper body. Well, obviously it's much more shapeless. It doesn't really matter that you have exactly the right shape for this. A cut face. So I'm gonna do level 1 on the bottom of the body. And I'm gonna try to go for level 2 on the face at least. So let me zoom in and see what I can find. Okay. All right, let's check it out. So when you have a lot of roundness like that, it's a trap. It's tempting, but it's gonna make it difficult to evaluate the proportions. Sharpen a bit here. Need a bit of sharpening. Oh yeah, well, that's the problem. Because my plumb line was off, everything was off, yeah. Which is why sometimes about all these optical tools, some people call them measuring tools or viewing tools. I like to call them kind of visual guidelines, or visual suggestions. They're mere suggestions that will be sort of a source of information for you to, figure out where you can pick it up next and where you have to double check next. It's always like you do the checking, and the visual tool, the measuring tool, whether it is proportional divider, plumb line, grid, whatever, it gives you information on where to look next, but you still have to do the visual work of, actually getting there. But like, you have to actually get in there and do the visual the visual comparison yourself. You can't rely on anything, because there is something more organic in a drawing that if you think about drawing more, not in terms of, you know, drawing is a human thing. Well, you're not using some technique that would be doable by a machine. You're kind of making it happen more organically. And if you reach the point where you actually function like a machine, you can stop right there, because the slightest problem of measurement or imperfection in your placement will just be, you know, like, will just always lead to problems. So what you want is you want to have not too much of an analytical mindset. You want to have a synthetical. You can have an analytical mindset at first and start your drawing kind of with a lot of measuring. But the more you progress and the more you want to, you know, kind of consider the whole and not the parts. Consider the unity and not the individual areas. You want to make it all fit together somehow. But this is more an organic process. There's no specific measuring technique for that. Kind of keeping it all as a sort of a unity. And this is why ultimately, with this method, we try to, you know, use measuring aids when we need it first, but let go at some point. And trust your eye only. Takes a while. I have those woodless pencils with just graphite. I hate them. I don't like them. You never really get to sharpen them properly. Found blue paper and printed it. Wow, what the dedication. I could never do that. Because my printer simply wouldn't want to print. You know what to do with them? Well, not much. They're not really usable. They're not practical to use. They don't sharpen easily. They're kind of goofy to hold. Very hard to put shape into a point. I don't know, I'd mostly use them for graphite powder. I do have some, I think. Yeah, but I've always like considered them just so goofy. Is that what you were talking about? Those graphite only pencils? That's simply way too much graphite for what's needed. Maybe if you work on something gigantic, but like, I don't know. Especially this one is a 6B. No way you're going to ever need a 6B. And I think they don't have the right balance. They feel like what I don't like about, you know, mechanical pencils. A lot of people talk about, you know, using mechanical pencils, and usually I still prefer the wooden ones, just because of the feel. Like the mechanical pencils, I tried to like them because they're so practical, but it's all about you have to find the right one with the proper, you know, kind of balance. Otherwise, it feels doesn't feel right in my hand. Yeah, they're practical though, and I see the point. It's just I never really got this feeling of saying, oh my god, this is great, you know. And I'm using these like pencil extenders, like pencil holders, pencil extensions, I don't know how you call them. But some of them I like and some of them I don't. Like this one is the most balanced one that I've found. Found this one on Amazon actually. It's nice, it's very balanced. I really like the feel, like most of the weight is actually here in the middle. I really like it. I have these ones. They're nice as well, but longer handle, so you have a balance point. It's more somewhere here. It's less comfortable. It all depends on the size of your pencil, obviously, but typically you use that when the pencil gets very short. So for this size, for when they're very short, it works. And I have these. These are really even longer, and they have like a goofy kind of big handle. I don't like them, except for charcoal. I'll use them for my charcoal. And for the charcoal, they're really helpful. For my pencils, not so much. But my go-to one would be this one. Well, and the pencil extenders is not just about liking them or not, it's just, well, they're freaking indispensable, otherwise you can just waste so many tiny pencils. Like, there's no way you can ever use that. It's way too short, but that is like perfectly usable for like another couple months. Depending on how much you draw, but I think the eyes should be more. Okay, I see something. My face is more juvenile because of this. Nose is longer, or maybe just the eyes are higher. But I'm gonna make it sort of a little mix of the two. Draw up the nose by a couple millimeters. Draw up the mouth as well. Raise the eyes. Okay. Thanks for the tour of the extent. Is super nerdy, obviously, but excellent. Well, it is excellent because it is super nerdy. And, you know, super helpful. I don't know. Who wouldn't like that? And I can even think of a good use for a lot of people who don't use their pencil all the way until the end. Real money saver for everybody, not just nerdy artists. I get it here. See how the likeness is just depends on such tiny differences. It's sometimes it's very discouraging because it's super tough, but you can't let go. You keep pushing it. Yeah, okay, Seth. But I get it. If you have good prices on your things, but you know, an extender also allows you to have like extremely long reach, and it can be useful for shading. Like, look at what I'm doing here. I don't care that like this pencil has perfect decent size, but you know, you can go ahead and you know do some very subtle shading with this extra length. That it can be the difference between
Screenshot taken in the Discord.
can be the difference between something that like a super light transition that you can achieve or not. So it does make a little difference. Still need one, at least one part of your toolkit. Alright, so now the face is less juvenile. I hope you can see the difference. If you rewind the stream. Ah, there you go, my man. At least one. One is needed. More, not necessarily, depending. They're really good for charcoal, but for charcoal, what I like are those. So let's talk about these. For charcoal, I like those. They're normally made for like the little Comté square. They work really well with the Nitram. With most Nitram. Absolutely great for Nitram. I think they could work for every little charcoal. If they don't fit, and if it's loose inside, what you do is this. Pro tip. If they don't fit, you do this. You roll a little bit of tape in the back. You know, sometimes they have an odd shape or something like that. You roll a little piece of tape in the back so that it can just lock in. And there you go. Now you have it locked in. I don't really have an example, but sometimes you do that like that. So it kind of extends it a bit, and because of the masking tape, how it's kind of squishy, it's going to really press it in place, so it will make it very stable. So this is what I used for the charcoal. These little guys, really great for charcoal. And this one is by Nitram. So supposedly this is good for, I don't know if they're still in this design or not. Supposedly this is good for charcoal, but I found that when you put a very long one, a very thin one inside, it moves. It has this like very annoying kind of shake. I don't know if you can notice, like it's called the stylus, this part by Nitram. The stylus it's not moving, but this here has a slight tilt. And no matter how you bring it up here, it's just too loose inside. Whereas with these, I don't know, they're not loose. where here they are. This one is, but you can always find a way to make it fit. Well, in my case, I can't, but... And this is where you want to use like the little masking tape when it's too skinny. Just add a little bit of masking tape, and it's gonna hold it in place. You can do the same with the Nitrum stylus, but I found that this one is not great for that. However, this one is absolutely amazing for these, for the Conte ones. Now, this is what I mostly use it for. It's kind of became indispensable for this. That's a really great hold. A little bit too thick and goofy. I don't really enjoy the feel. It's kind of lightweight and also kind of big and bulky. I much prefer something like that if we're talking about extendeds, but for the pencils, they work great. Exactly the tip I needed, no pun intended. On a different topic, it takes me a huge amount of time drawing and erasing lines to get proportions correct. Easily the most time consuming part of my drawing. Is the solution just more practice? I couldn't be more proud of you. This is great. It's absolutely great that you get to spend so much time and effort on this crucial part. It's just, yeah, don't let go. Don't, like, if you spend so much time, it means that you've noticed something at some point, and you don't want to skip to the next stage before you've reached a satisfying point that most people would skip. So keep at it, just keep doing it, and yeah, more practice will make it easier. But, you know, still, I'm still figuring out proportions right now as I go, trying to wrap it up for the stream for today, but you know, it takes time. Like, I'm not gonna be finished by the end of this stream, so just I'll have to deal with it. It's absolutely great that it takes you so much time. It can't be that easy. If it is that easy, something is not right. Something's off. If it, like, all of a sudden you get immediate proportions perfectly accurate, no, not happening, bro. Unless you're an absolute beast. Things struggling on a charcoal drawing right now. Well, I'm with you. And also, don't consider erasing as making corrections. Don't equate in your head. Don't equate using my eraser means making corrections and fixing stuff that are problematic. No. Erasing is a part of drawing. Like, it's your eraser is an actual drawing tool, so consider it as the more you erase, the more you actually draw. Not, you don't, it's not a rewind. It's not like a rewind option. It's more like moving forward. When you're erasing, you're moving forward. Yeah, exactly. Move on from erase equals fail. Erase equal fail. This erase equal fail mode is just a sort of a bad habit that's been imposed by people who don't know what an eraser is used for. Mostly at school, you learn how an eraser is made to remove stuff, But look at how I'm using my eraser all the time to actually shape stuff. Always have it in my hand, which is why it gets so sticky. There are like full-on drawing techniques that require only an eraser, by the way. Legit techniques. Okay, I'm still not with the right likeness here, but it's because of what? It's too thin on my the hair is shorter actually. Actually notice where the artist on the original has done almost exactly the same thing as I did here, but make it bigger actually on his. So the original looks wider. It means that I need to push it here. She looks slightly more chubby on the original. Mine, she feels too skinny somehow. These drawings, they take time. There's no way around it. Especially when you're trying to follow the work of a master like that. When it's your own originals, well, at least you have you decide when you want to stop it. When it's a master's work, you don't really have a choice. Going to work on level 2 tomorrow, I think. Alright. I think I'm gonna not be too long as well on this one. It's wider. See how much wider I went compared to my initial shot. The earring was there at first. Oh, actually, it's there. So I pushed it like 5 millimeters to the left. Yeah, the continual refinements really incredibly useful and helpful. Yeah, that's why these sessions are for. What these sessions are for. Something you can't really appreciate when the footage is sped up. It really helps also that YouTube allows us to rewind. It's like one of the best features. Yeah. Okay, I get it. let's try to put the final nails in this session. I don't think we can be more accurate than that in this stream. It should be much better, but I don't think that I can do that in one session. So I'll have to come back to this drawing to get the absolute perfect likeness. Just so tiny things that make or break the likeness. It's not even fair. I'm so struggling with this nose shape. It's very peculiar. Not like... not like most of the other classical art. Classical noses. Very unique, very unique shape. Whenever I'm done, well, whatever I'll be done for the day, I think the amount of energy that I'll have to dedicate to this drawing is limited, so I'll have to stop at some point. I'm not gonna be done with the drawing.
Screenshot taken in the Discord.
It looks like it somehow, but you know, it's still not perfect. Making it perfect takes time though, so I think it's time that I don't have for today. It looks beautiful, but not perfect. Doesn't look like exactly the right likeness. For my taste, it's not good enough, but you know. There's only so much you can do in 2.5 hours. I think that for 2.5 hours, not bad. But I think it could take double that to get exactly what I should get. Maybe adding the white would be the solution. Sort of get to the next phase. Blend this white a little, so that it kind of feels like wash. No, it's not. Just getting rid of the hatching, so that I have this slightly less, this very soft white Very, very subtle.
Okay. I give up for today. This is all I have, my friends. This is all the energy that I have to give to this drawing for today. Screenshot. Okay.
Screenshot taken in the Discord.
Thanks.
Screenshot
Perfect.
taken in the Discord.
Awesome. Thanks, everybody. It was great. It was great. It was really, really cool. Loved the session. Pretty quiet, pretty chill. Good vibes, good vibes. I'll see you for the next one, my friends. And yeah. Again, thank you for hanging out. Thank you for the support. I'll see you around, my friends. Bye bye. And as always, remember, joy and inspiration to you.